What's going on, LubeTube? John Gross here. How the hell are you doing? Alright, this is going to be a quick little video on the girls in the 4x2, the 4x2 Bible sim. But before we get into that, let me get into the intros out of the way. If you're not older than 18, turn this shit off right now. Okay? We do not condone the use of anything legal or illegal. And we don't sell anything. So this is for adult education, for documentation and educational purposes only. Because the LubeTube seems to get into because I'm a bit of a big pharma. Also, I would like to thank all the people that are using my code at Coastal Mary. If you use my code, John Grows, all one word, it'll save you 20% off your order. You know what I mean? Also, I would like to thank all the new subscribers to the channel. Welcome. If you have any questions, leave some comments down in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer them as best as I can for you. Okay, I'm just documenting what I'm doing to show you that if I can do it, you definitely can do it. So I just topped these girls. Just topped them with a little bit of 444 2A4 bloom and a little bit of earthworm castings. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to write that down on the piece of paper. If you can, you should go to the dollar store and buy like a little notebook and write everything down. When you plant shit, when you flip shit, when you top things. The Gaia Green, it's usually like every 3 weeks I would top it. Maybe 20 days, 3 weeks, whatever. Top it up. But I write it down. You know what I mean? Always write your shit down. Alright, so let's get into this. I'm going to open up this tent right now. Hell yeah. Gonna open up this. Oh, Jesus God. Okay, let's get this. We're under the Micro Array 4. Shout out to Shane. You know what I mean? You can take a look at this, girls. It's a decent little light. And most definitely. We are at like 70 degrees with like 50% humidity. Hell yeah. Alright, so this is the California Couchlock by ICAN-THC. Shout out to Matt over there. This is in 100% bioflower. Okay, I just topped these girls up. I was getting a little nervous. These things look like they were starting to yellow out. So, gave them a little bit more nutrients, put a little bit more CalMag in there, a little bit silica. You know what I mean? I topped it with 444 2A4 bloom and some earthworm castings. It's about when you're top dressing with the Gaia Green, it's 1 tablespoon per gallon. But the 444, I just threw in like 3 tablespoons. You know what I mean? The earthworm castings, I think I put like three cups full of earthworm castings in there. These things were dry. Like, they were dry. It took me probably 1.5 gallons to fill that to where the water started coming out of that little hole. And as you can see, I just shook the bucket, so hell yeah. Now this is the Gary Payton Revised by Elevate Seeds. Okay, this was also pretty dry. In fact, my Intuit moisture meters were at like 30% humidity in this. Now, I'm in the Northeast, and I had a little blizzard, and I had a couple of days of no lights, and it was like 50 degrees outside. That sucks. So I got to keep an eye on these girls to make sure they're not going to harm out. But they're just starting to get into flower, and you're starting to see some of the pistils. It's going to be, I think, on the 4th of this month, it's going to be 3 weeks. So I don't know if I'm going to have a little issue because of the power outages and the cold. I don't know. But in this bucket, I have 50/50 HP Pro Mix and the bioflower. I don't know. I didn't go the full bucket with the bioflower like I did on this one. So in here it's 50/50 of HP Pro Mix, 444 from Gaia Green, and 2A4 bloom. Now I just topped these girls, so it was like 5 tablespoons of 2A4 bloom and a few tablespoons of 444 all-purpose, maybe like 3 cups full of earthworm castings. That's what I got in here. I also have biochar, and the bioflower also has biochar in there as well. This one's going pretty good. There was a little ball of what I thought was in one of these plants, and I can't remember which one it was, but I pricked it off. Because of the possible stress, I'm going to have to keep my eyes so I don't see balls. But where you would see your balls would be right there. In fact, there might be a ball right there. Right there. So I'm going to have to keep my eye on it. Oh, sorry. I'm going to have to keep my eye on it because I'm definitely not starting this over. And if you do get some balls coming out, just peel them off. I mean, you might get a few here and there. You know what I mean? But because there's not a lot of plants in here, I shouldn't have one sneak up and bite me in the ass. Now, I'm probably going to wait a few more weeks to see where these girls are going to come up. You know what I mean? I might wait on that a little bit. In the next week or two, if these girls haven't grown, I'm going to just take them off. You know what I mean? Because you want the most energy going up to the top of the plant than sitting at the bottom. You know, most plants are like that. I mean, even tomatoes, you don't want suckers on the bottom of the plant. You want to get as much fruit on the top of the plant as you possibly can. But this girl, I've just noticed some of the hairs. Like some of the hairs over here. You know what I mean? So, yeah, she's finally converting into flower, which is a good thing. But I'm going to have to keep my eye on this. And if you run into the same situation, you should definitely keep an eye on your plants too. Just flick off any balls that you see starting to come out. If you unfortunately have the situation that I've had. Because we had a major snowstorm come up here. Dropped everybody on it. It literally dropped me on my head like Savage coming off the top turnbuckle and just dropped an elbow right on my dome piece. I'm going to have to defoliate these girls. Probably do that, I don't know, probably next week. I got a lot of shit to do right now. That's why I said I want to drop this video. Got my bazooka growers. Hell yeah. But yeah, if you could, hopefully you watch this video all the way through. Like, subscribe, and share. Because the Lube Tube definitely doesn't push out our content. Because they're in bed with Pig Pharma. But hell yeah. So if you have any questions, leave some comments down in the comment section. Okay? If you need any questions on how to build an earth bucket, I'll be more than happy to help you out on that too. You know? Hell yeah, but these girls are looking pretty damn good right now. So like I said, if you had any questions, just leave some comments. Like this one right here started to yellow out a little bit. So I put a little CalMag in there and I top dressed it. And I put a little Silica Blast also. I watered the Silica Blast though in here by itself. I heard you don't really mix the Silica Blast with the nutrients. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, you probably could. I don't know. You know what I mean? But hell yeah, they're looking pretty damn good right now. Looking pretty damn good. The Migro Array 4 is at like 70%. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Peace.